check out some of the toys. These are pretty fun, even though I think the size on this bike may be a little bit wrong. After a long day at work, sometimes nothing beats being able to loosen your tie a little bit like Eli here and enjoy a good beer. We hear so much about farm technology and how it's always making farmers' lives easier, but in order to be able to do that, you have to also be able to draw on farming's past. Ready? All right, here's the test.
You got it.
I did it.
Upside down.
But if you were told you had to pay up to attend, would you still go?
Well, considering I've been to 5 weddings this summer, including one this past weekend, my short answer is no.
No.
The travel and hotels and gifts are
It adds up.
expensive enough as it is. But one Canadian woman says, pay up or don't show up. One of the things that truly makes this exhibit unique is just how up close and personal kids are able to get to law enforcement. And getting to see the helicopter behind me certainly does the trick.
So when you look at the top of courthouses and historic buildings in central Illinois, you will probably notice a clock. Most are automated and some have even stopped working, but not in Taylorville. Storyteller Ryan Burk met a man who keeps the town's historic clock running.
Yeah, for more than 30 years, Bill Kennedy has been climbing the steps of the Christian County Courthouse every week. That's no easy feat to wind and maintain a 116-year-old clock. Now, it's a job most people don't still think exists in 2018, but it's an important role to preserve history. It's 9:59 a.m. on the square in downtown Taylorville, and in 10 seconds, an unmistakable sound will be heard. It's a ring the town has grown accustomed to over the past 116 years, but one Bill Kennedy will never grow tired of.
Honestly, they are one of man's most satisfactory machines.
The 9-story climb to the top of the clock tower is something Kennedy has grown used to over the past 30 years. As he makes the journey to maintain this amazing piece of machinery.
You know, actually, I'm only the third keeper this clock has had. The tower clocks frequently are kind of hidden, and really most clockwork is hidden. It's inside a case or something, and people can't see it. They don't know how it works. And a lot of them are so small that they're difficult to see what's going on and, you know, how you would maintain them or what goes wrong with them, and people just don't know very much about them.
It's why he makes it his mission to share this clock with as many people as possible.
It's very easy to get 6 or 8 or 10 people in here at the same time and point out the pallets and the locking face and the impulse face and, you know, explain how a Graham deadbeat escapement works and you know, give its comparison to other escapement mechanisms and so forth. You know, it's just an ideal teaching tool for, you know, for that reason, and it's an important part of our history.
Spreading his knowledge about the lost art of clock keeping is Bill's way of making sure this one never falls victim to automation.
If you look up at a tower clock and you see that it's not running, probably the reason is because they lost their clock keeper and they can't get another one to do it. To get someone to take care of a clock that's willing to climb the steps and fight the weather and so forth is troublesome. I mean, you know, it's just hard to get people to do that these days. It's not a profession like it used to be when, you know, there were people, lots of people trained as, you know, clockmakers.
And while he has no plans to stop working soon, he knows even here in Taylorville, the clock is ticking when it comes to finding an eventual successor.
It would be nice to have, you know, someone who was going to stay around in town and had interest in this kind of thing. And if any of your viewers would like to contact me, I'd like to hear from them.
Drawing on history to make sure this clock can stand the test of time and be there when the clock strikes 11 and for years to come.
It's as good as it was when it was built, and 116 years from now, it can certainly be doing the same job it's doing today.
Sibley in Ford County is taking a new approach to helping revitalize it, and Ryan here had a chance to check it out. So what are they doing?
I did. They're doing something really interesting. So Sibley, like many communities, has been dealing with empty and deteriorating buildings downtown for decades, and it really has become a huge challenge. Now they're in the midst of a restoration project funded through the community that supports this effort. Sibley is a community filled with pride. pride in their country and pride in their agricultural roots. But downtown, the windows are boarded up, the old tavern sits empty, and pride may seem hard to come by.
There's a lot of folks like myself that would like to see it maybe back to some resemblance of what it used to be.
Don Meyer and Marge Vetter remember the way things used to be. It's why seeing downtown struggle has been tough.
You know, there's no grocery store here in town, and our post office has limited hours now, so things are decreasing. People are moving out.
It's the reason the community is coming together to help reverse the trend through restoration.
Well, we hope to return all the buildings back to as close to what they used to look like, including the graphics on the windows of who was there on a certain date and when they left, and try and bring it back to the way it used to be as much as possible, which isn't possible, but as close as we can.
Through historic photos and memories of town, they plan to rehab the storefronts together as a community.
A lot of participation from local folks and some other. So we think we're going to get there. Our goal is to have this done by the 4th of July, so I think we're going to get there.
For this to be happening, I'm glad to, see the revitalization.
Thanks to funding from locals and a donation from the Bank of Gibson City, the project is underway and allowing for many opportunities for discovery.
So each corner we turn around is something different and kind of fun and reminiscing, and of course a lot of folks that either lived here then or still do are gladly participating, and so it's been fun.
Fun to breathe new life into a community and restore not just buildings, but also pride in town. The community hopes to have the restoration project complete by the 4th of July, so they said that that's when they're really looking to get things done. It'll allow them to show off the town to visitors to see all of those updates. Now, since I was out there to shoot this story, since I was on vacation, was delayed a little bit in getting on the air, just being totally honest. So since we were actually shot this, a lot of progress has been made. So I can't wait. I'm going to go back early next month to get an update and see everything they've been working on.
How neat to hear about their passion, because that's something I feel like is consistent around Central Illinois. People are passionate about the places where they live.
Absolutely.
And so when you are worried about the future of your town and you're trying to invest, it's great that they're able to make progress.
And being willing to take a unique approach to doing it. This isn't something a lot of other towns have tried, so it's really cool to see them doing that.
And meld past and present so you don't lose your identity.
Definitely.
And you still move forward.
Absolutely.